Hey guys, my name's Kamran, this is Diego. We are with Lengio, and we're fixing the problem of English education. So most people here, probably everyone here, speaks English pretty well, but it's actually a problem around the world. English education is a huge problem. There are areas of the world where, all other things equal, if you speak English, you end up making twice as much money, which opens huge opportunities for you. There's global opportunities, you can advance in your career. So basically, English is well on its way as establishing itself as the dominant international language. So there's a huge market of people trying to learn English. So naturally, we're from MIT, so we wanted to solve that with software. So we looked at Rosetta Stone and Duolingo and the other existing solutions out there. And we identified a few really huge problems with current software solutions to learning languages. So one of the big problems is content. If I'm an accountant in, say, Colombia, and I want to learn English for my job, I can go through Rosetta Stone, but I'm never going to learn what the word exchange means or how to pronounce it. I mean, exchange is a very, very basic word in English that an accountant needs to know, and Rosetta Stone won't teach it, Duolingo won't teach it. No software out there teaches it. You can find specialized business courses, but everybody has really, really specific needs. So what we do is we can take any English content, whether it's a textbook on accounting or movie subtitles or anything that you might be interested in learning, and we use a lot of really cool natural language processing technology to turn that content into a Rosetta Stone or Duolingo-like course that's personalized to you. So Diego right now is clicking through a couple of the exercises. This is actually, this is our accounting course right now. It's accounting English. And you can see that it's made for a native Spanish speaker. And it gives you questions, kind of small little exercises that you'll see in Rosetta Stone and Duolingo, except the content is totally catered to what you're trying to learn. And it learns from your learning style, it learns from what you need to know, and it most importantly learns from what you already know. So it builds on the knowledge that you've already got, it knows which words you know, and it knows exactly the gaps you need to fill. So I think we can, if you want to wrap all of that up. Yeah, so we're actually working right now, for example, with enterprises who are acquiring companies overseas, and they're teaching those companies' employees English. So right now, for example, we're working with an oil and gas company in Colombia. And they acquire companies and they teach them English because they communicate in English internationally. And there has been no software solution for teaching oil and gas English ever before. So we went to these companies, we asked them, give us your handbooks, your policies, any public internal company emails. We feed all of that through our software, and it generates a course that any of their employees can sign into and start building their own English up. We also integrate with things like certifications, so the company's managers can track how their employees are learning. And let's say an accountant, a freelance accountant in Colombia, can prove that he knows the accounting English that he needs to work with clients in the US or England. So what Diego's showing right here actually is kind of our diagnostic. This is how, right now, we're assessing what the user already knows in English. So we created a new user for this demo right now, so you'll see there's a lot of red here, but we're basically asking the user with sentences that are straight out of real sources. So this is an accounting handbook, for example, that he needs to be able to read. And we ask him, which of these words do you understand? And we do a lot of really cool natural language processing stuff. We collapse terms and phrasal verbs that go together. So as soon as, for example, we're teaching as soon as one unit. We do what's called word sense disambiguation. So if you're learning in oil and gas, for example, the word pig means something very different than what everybody here probably thinks it means. It's a cleaning unit that they send through the pipelines. So if you're learning the word pig on Rosetta Stone, you're going to learn the animal, and that's kind of useless if you're working in oil and gas. But our software is intelligent enough to learn from the text, and it learns what a pig is and can teach it appropriately. We do a lot of personal statistics training. There's a lot of gamification and all the other buzzwords that encourage users to learn English. And we've had excellent results so far. People are learning many times faster than they were with personal tutors, which is the current solution for these companies, and at a much, much lower price point than hiring tutors for all of these employees. So we're a bit early, but I feel like we can move on to questions. If anybody has any questions, thanks for your time.
Recently in Brazil, and they have these massive affluent, like learning centers there. And I see them being a huge competitor to you, where they all, they're pumping out a lot of advertisements on television there, and they offer decent rates. Are you going to start to look at them to see if they'll incorporate your kind of technology, or are you guys going to compete, or what are you guys thinking?
Right. So the question is, the big incumbent in this kind of field are big companies like Kaplan, who offer courses for maybe people who are trying to learn accounting English in Brazil. So we're actually, right now, we've been in talks with ESL schools like that. There's actually a ton in Boston that do exactly that. And we offer classroom solutions to augment their current solutions that are going on. We also think that we provide a unique solution from that, because although they're cheaper than, say, hiring a personal tutor, that kind of course is still prohibitively expensive for, say, people in rural China who want to learn English to be able to grow their local business or things like that. So we hope that by kind of eliminating the human factor of all of that, needing to hire teachers, which is the huge price and all of that, we can make it much cheaper and much more accessible to a much wider population. Yep.
So this seems to be very much targeted towards people for reading purposes. Is there an aspect of it that works for people who need to learn to speak it?
What we've been demoing here seems to be very reading oriented, but the truth is that our software right now teaches all 4 English skills, so reading, writing, speaking, and listening. So for speaking, for example, we use right now some tech out of Google for speech recognition that's specifically designated for pronunciation scoring, so we can help users with their pronunciation. For things like writing, we can use the same NLP tech that we use to read textbooks and learn about a topic to assess the user's writing and see if it's grammatical and if it's, if it makes sense.
It's like a very elegant solution for people who are text-based learners. What about people who are visual, people who learn more by technical representation?
So the question is, it looks very good for people who learn best by reading or any other text-based media. For certain words, we have images, so you can learn what an exchange is based on images. We've looked at video solutions also, so you can imagine if you are a particularly visual learner and you love to watch videos, we could partner with video providers and take their subtitles and feed that through the same system and show the videos alongside lessons that teach the English that's used in the videos. I think we have time for one more question. Yeah.
Is there a way for review?
Okay, yeah, so the question is there a way for reviewing? And one of the coolest things about having this technology, and one of the biggest changes from the traditional model that we've made, is our software keeps track of what you know. So in every exercise that you're doing, every time you answer a question, anytime you interact with the application, it's learning about which English you've been exposed to, which English you might not know perfectly because you answered a question wrong, which English you learned 6 months ago, so you're probably forgetting now. So we've done a lot of research into things like spaced repetition to make sure that we can provide accurate review schedules for our users. So we keep track of all of that for you, and we adapt your model as it goes. So if you are forgetting a word, honestly, our goal is for the software to realize that you're forgetting the word before you do, so it teaches you it again. Thanks, guys.